One thing you gotta love is how honest, brutally honest, honestly, Jamar Chase actually is. It's one of the reasons why I love him so much because he says it like it is. He doesn't bullcrap around. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He says it straight up. When Chase said something, you know Chase means something. You know, it's not like he's going to be, oh, PR, make sure he says the correct things, make sure he does the correct things. And, you know, he even did say that, not in this interview we're about to watch, but he did say last night, you know, he made Joe look good because there are some missed passes that Jamar caught the ball where, you know, it was truly a missed pass, but Jamar Chase is so good, he made up for it and caught the passes. So he did make Joe Burrow look good on a lot of those plays. But even with everything being said, even with us having a great night, Jamar Chase having one of the best, you know, wide receiver weeks this week, for week 3, he still said this after the game.
I didn't want him to play. I told him that again after the game. I was like, "You got nuts, boy. I didn't want you to play. You can't knock him for being tough like that, and they don't make too many quarterbacks tough like that. He got a lot of balls to be out there playing."
I love it. I absolutely love it because even though they got the win, right? And again, as Jamar says here, he told Joe privately after the game, dude, I didn't want you to play. I really didn't. Because again, as Jamar said many times, and it's very true, you know, he's looking at bigger picture, right? You're looking at the bigger picture here. Well, yes, one game, this game matters. And trust me, 1000%, this game last night was absolutely majorly important. If we lose that game, we still have 0-3. Season's not over, but it's not looking good, right? But again, he played, we won the game. Jamar Chase could have just walked away and said nothing, you know, just great game, we played great, I'm not going to speak on the matter. But instead, again, privately, he goes up and he talks to Burrow. He said, hey, listen, I don't want you to play. And as he said, I still didn't want you to play. Even after the game is over. You know, he's like, I still didn't want you to play. Because the risk of injury, the risk of him having any type of problem or compilation and a setback is just not worth it, right? So, again, like I said, I'm happy he played. I'm happy we got the win. But Jamar Chase, man, he is brutally honest. He's going to forever be brutally honest every single time, you know, he talks to the media, and any single time he talks about a team, period. You know, this guy is not a guy who shies away from, you know, giving his opinion, which I truly respect about him because, again, a lot of players would just sugarcoat their responses or just not say anything and try to act like, oh, yeah, we got the win. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. But instead, no, Jamar Chase says as it is, man. He just says, hey, I told him not to play. I told him not to play after the game, and he, you know, he had some nuts to him. As he said, he had some nuts to him. And he is correct on not many quarterbacks are built like Joe anymore. Where back in the day, right, quarterbacks, and again, this is not knocking on any quarterback, but back in the day, quarterbacks, you know, it was almost impossible to take them out. You look at Johnny Unitas, who played for the Baltimore Colts. The man literally gashed his whole entire nose, pretty much broke his nose, bleeding all over his face. He takes some mud, shoves it up his nose to stop the bleeding, and goes out back out there and wins the game. Right? That's how old quarterbacks used to play. They get smashed, they get hit, you know, they just played no matter what. Whatever injury they had, they just played. Now, obviously, medical science has gotten so much better over the years. It, you know, really has had so much advancements that we know now doing stuff like that could be very detrimental long term to your health, right? But Joe still was that, you know, breed of quarterback who said, listen, I want to win and I don't want to let my team down. And I'm not going to sit there on the sideline unless I am literally sitting here with a torn calf or a broken leg. I am going out there and playing football. And I got to give the Steelers credit, the Squealers here. Big Ben was kind of like that too. That's how Big Ben was. Big Ben had his nose broken by Haloti Nada in a game, and he played the rest of the game. You know, some quarterbacks would come out and say, hey, man, my nose is broken. I can't play. He played the rest of the game. That's AFC North football. That's AFC North quarterbacks. That's why not every single quarterback can come in this division and be successful. Because you have to be tough. You have to be gritty. You have to, you know, get punched in the face, get back up, and go right back to work. Right? This is how the AFC North is. And at the end of the day, you know, that's how Joe is. Joe would play on any injury most likely. And we found that out last night. So while, yes, Chase was right since the beginning, and Chase, as we call him, the doctor, Jamar Chase here, because Dr. Chase was right that he should have been sitting out probably for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. That's not how the AFC North quarterbacks work. Right now, you got, obviously, Lamar Jackson, who's tough, gritty. He has broken down the last couple seasons, but, he still is smash mouth football. You always got Kenny Pickett. Now the Steelers have a guy who's tough and gritty like Ben was. The Browns, for the longest time, couldn't get a quarterback right. And I think the reason why they couldn't get a quarterback right is also because they couldn't get a quarterback that could survive in the AFC North. And Deshaun Watson, the verdict is still yet to be seen on that one. But overall wise, man, it's beautiful. I love Jamar Chase for this because, he says it as it is. He doesn't sugarcoat it. Doesn't bullcrap around. He told him not to play, and he played. And it is what it is. We got the W. We're 1-2. We're one game back on everyone else in the division except for, again, the Browns and the Ravens. We're one game back on the Steelers. We're 1.5 game back on the Ravens and the Browns. We're going to get right back to work, beat Tennessee this upcoming Sunday, and keep grinding. See you guys next one. Peace out.